Okay, hello teacher. I hope you're having a good time. So my name is Julian Alonso Cañas Melendez, and at this time or at this moment, I'm going to read or I'm going to explain or read my explication about the literary analysis template of the one liter poem. Okay, general facts about the literary work. For example, title is the one liter. Type of reading is poetry. Author is unknown. Date of publication is impossible to determine, but I think that it was around 10th century, maybe. I don't know. Okay, let's go with the next one slide. Sorry, but okay. Structure: literary, historical, and social cultural context. Most scholars think the Wanderers first appeared as a piece of oral poetry during the 5th or 6th century, a time when the Germanic part and culture of Anglo-Saxon England was undergoing conversion to Christianity. It contained traces of both traditional Germanic warrior culture and of a Christian value system. The speaker for much of the poem is a warrior who has had to go into exile after the slaughter of his lord and relative in battle. Okay, but now he contemplates what the experience of the exile teach him about his life. Okay, this is the literary, historical, and social cultural context. Okay, let's go with that next. The wonder is about the lament of a man who has lost his lord and now journeys alone and friendless in search of a new lord. In sleep, he dreams of the day of his former happiness, but waking up, he finds nothing but great waves and falling snow which add to his distress. Okay, let's go with the next argument. The poem begins with the wanderer asking the Lord for understanding and compassion during his exile at sea. His kind Lord died of old age, and as a result, the wanderer has been exiled from his country. He left home with coldness of winter, and his hair in sailed to road wave in search of a new lord. Okay, here is a image about the poem, the wanderer poem. Character, the narrator of the wise men's speech, and the wise man, presumably the wanderer himself. Okay, presumably. Let's go with the narrative structure. Narrative structure. The wanderer is an elegy of 115 lines. It's an Anglo-Saxon poem preserved in the Exeter book. The structure is somewhat ambiguous. The poem may represent a monologue containing two reported speech of alternatively speech by different characters. The first speech says that the solitary wanderer often experiences the grace of God despite the hardship he endures. There's follow a long personal account of exile, leading the speaker to wonder if his suffering and the general state of decay of the world don't make himself miserable. Finally, the voice of wisdom asserts that the world's will is transitory and faith in God is the only source of security of himself. Okay, stylistic resource. Sorry, the one that is an all English poem told in the first person singular and plural. It's a poem with different literary figures such as simile, imagery, and personification. and its structure is inverse. The speaker used image of bending and fastening to express the emotional containment he thinks is necessary for a wise man. And in conclusion of the of this poem of the Wanderer poem, in conclusion, the Wanderings attain the height of great lyrical poetry with which express not only what is personal, but what is universal. The poem ends with a conventional Christian sentiment that God is the man who doesn't lose his faith in God, the Father who protects us all. Okay, and now we continue with the plot of the Wanderer poem. Okay, exposition. The protagonist is the wandering warrior round character. Antagonist, his point, this point has an antagonist. Set in time, historical period. Setting place in Anglo-Saxon England, Kentucky's here near Ohio River, the sea. Internal conflict, the long lines, and exile that the wanderer is going through. External conflict, the problems and difficulties that are experienced in the war. Okay, let's go with the Russian action. The wanderer is a person who has lost everything he ever had. He's lost his lord, his home, his kinsmen, and more. But despite this, he tried to seek a new life, but still he doesn't forget the memory of his previous life, and this doesn't help him much in continuing his life. He is completely alone. He has no one to whom he can tell his intimate thoughts, since his relative are dead. He hasn't one talk to talk. He has no one to talk to. He is alone physically, mentally, and emotionally too. Beside, the Lord of him is also dead. This means that he has no source of internal protection. Okay. Okay, let's continue with the climax. The climax is sometimes it seems I see my Lord. Kiss, embrace him, bend my hands, bend my hands, and head to his knee of him, kneeling, so he is still sad and torn. Well, okay, he sometimes dreams of his Lord, saying he said the following, but he wake up and just see the wave, the severs, etc. He feels alone, and with the love he's tired, he just goes on his way silently without leaving anything. He has a melancholic person, and he doesn't forget those men who were stripped of his wealth, plundered by death, etc. Okay, let's go with the following action. That one it is start to reflect as he talk about how they should be brave but not blind. That you don't have to be craving, complacent, or covetous. You don't have to be a person with a lot of ego either. Since there are people who are and don't lend attention to audacity of knowledge. He tell us about a monarch knocked down and stripped of the pleasure that the proud waiter now finds himself leaning against the wall. Other have other half dead. Remember the massacres of the bloody past that is obligated to proclaim where the wars are. The warriors, and the warlord, etc. And resolution, he continued reflecting, where he gives us to understand that nothing is eternal in this life. Sign, he says, fortune vanishes, Friendship vanishes. Man is fleeting. Woman is fleeting, and all this her roll into emptiness. He talked to us about always being with good signs of hope must always be with him. And after him is down and outer shows that if a person wants to overcome their depression they must remain hopeful. Symbolisms the one that first represent the literal physical worlds, the one that it comes upon during his travel upon sea. Second, the world is a figurative concept that symbolizes the mental world, the one that is mobile scale in order to find security. Okay, the Halloween. The one that explained that he has gained wisdom from the experience of living many winters and exhort to seek security in wood. And the last one is irony, the one that suffered at at sea. Sorry. The one that suffered at sea and dreams of happy time. And that's all, teacher. So sorry, uh, because I'm very nervous. I don't know why, but I'm very nervous. Sorry. Um, but that's all for me. And thank you for hearing and have a good day. Take care, teacher.